Have you ever stopped and wondered, is just saving my money actually enough for the future? I mean, it's a question we all kind of wrestle with, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into why investing your money, not just stashing it away, might just be the most important financial move you'll ever make. Let's jump right in. To get started, I want to tell you a really incredible story. It's all about the pure, raw power of disciplined saving. These three simple words were the advice Osceola McCarty's mother gave her when she was just a little girl. And you know what? That simple advice became the compass for her entire life. Osceola was born back in 1908 in Mississippi, and she worked her whole life as a washerwoman. I mean, she worked incredibly hard, sometimes late into the night. And every single coin she made, she put it aside. At first, she literally saved them in a doll buggy, until one day she marched into a bank and opened her very first savings account. Think about it. Through world wars, through the Great Depression, she just kept on saving. So by the time she retired in 1995, that lifetime of discipline had turned into a jaw-dropping $280,000. For a washerwoman from her era, that was an absolutely monumental achievement. Osceola's story is just wow. It's so inspiring, but it really makes you ask a big question. In the world we live in today, with prices going up all the time, is a lifetime of just saving still the best way to go? Okay, so let's jump from the past right into the present. We're going to run a little experiment, a what-if scenario based on modern finances. We'll take her amazing principle of saving and see how it holds up for someone like you today. So, let's set the stage. Picture this. You're 30 years old, you're making 50,000 rupees a month, and you're doing a great job saving 20,000 of it. Now, we'll assume you get a nice 10% raise every year, but also that the cost of, well, everything goes up by 8%. And the goal? To retire in 20 years, at age 50. All right, so after 20 years of being super disciplined, just like Osceola, and putting that cash away, you'd end up with a fantastic 1.8 crore rupees. I mean, that sounds like a ton of money, doesn't it? But here is the $1 million, or I guess the 1.8 crore rupee question. With the cost of living creeping up by 8% every single year, how long is that money really going to last you once you retire? This is the exact point where we have to ask, could there be a smarter way to make your money work for you? And this, my friends, is where investing enters the picture. Instead of just letting that cash sit there, let's see what happens when we actually put it to work. So let's take that exact same 20-year scenario and put these two strategies in a head-to-head race. Pure saving on one side and active investing on the other. As we just saw, our disciplined saver ends up with that 1.8 crores. And that's a really respectable amount built on pure hard work. No doubt about it. But what if, instead of just saving that 20,000 rupees a month, you invested it? Well, assuming a pretty standard market return of 12% a year, your final corpus would be a mind-blowing 4.27 crores. I mean, just look at that difference. It is massive. Investing doesn't just add to your savings, it multiplies it. We're talking 2.4 times more money. This is the incredible magic of compounding. It's where your money starts making its own money, creating this powerful snowball effect over time. Okay, so investing is clearly the winner here. The obvious next question is, all right, I'm sold, but where on earth do I actually put my money? Generally speaking, you've got four main buckets to choose from: fixed income, equity, which is stocks, gold, and real estate. Now, for this explainer, we're going to zero in on the first three, just because they're usually the easiest to get started with and to compare side by side. First up, let's talk about fixed income. This is often thought of as one of the safer plays. Here's an easy way to think about it. You're basically lending your money to the government or a bank, and in return for that loan, they promise to pay you back with a fixed amount of interest. It's predictable, it's steady. So what kind of returns are we looking at? Well, historically, between 2009 and 2021, a typical government bond in India gave an average return of about 5% per year. All right, next up, let's get to the big one: equity. This is what most of us picture when we hear the word investing. Equity is really just a fancy word for buying a small piece of a company. You buy their shares, and if that company does well and grows, the value of your tiny piece goes up. Simple as that. Now, to see how the whole market's been doing, we can look at something like the Nifty 50 index. And during that same 2009 to 2021 period, Its average return was around 14% a year, a whole different ballgame.
And finally, we have to talk about an asset that people have trusted for literally thousands of years: gold.
You can invest in gold in a few ways these days. You can buy the physical stuff, sure, but there are also more modern ways, like gold ETFs or even government-backed sovereign gold bonds. People often run to it when things feel uncertain. So how did gold do? From 2009 to 2021, it delivered an average return of about 9% per year, a really solid performance, landing right there in the middle between fixed income and equity. So now we've met our three contenders, and we know their average performance. Let's plug these numbers back into our 20-year retirement plan and see who actually wins the race. And here we have it, the final results. That same monthly saving habit produces wildly different outcomes. With fixed income's 5%, you get to 2.48 crores. Pretty good. With gold's 9%, you reach 3.3 crores. Even better. But with equity and its 14% average return, your fund skyrockets to an incredible 5.07 crores. That's more than double the safest option. I mean, the numbers really don't lie. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Over the long haul, equities have historically been the most powerful engine for building wealth. And that really leaves us with the most important question of all, doesn't it? How can you start putting that incredible power to work for your own financial future?